Well, hello everyone, and welcome to episode number 173 of GoRainbowRadio.com. I am your host, Tim Corrimal, once again coming to you from the fabulous neighborhood of Logan Circle here in Washington, D.C. And Go Rainbow Radio is sponsored by Cap Records. Be sure to check out my sponsor over at caprecords.com. You can also check out their internet dance radio station over at highdanceradio.fm. And Go Rainbow Radio is also sponsored by T-Best Talent Agency, bringing you all the best dance divas. You can check them out over at t-bestttalentagency.com. Well, everyone, this is your show for Sunday, September 27, 2009. If you're living in the Northern Hemisphere, happy fall, everyone. And my guest on the show this weekend is Anthony DeFina, who is joining us from the Southern Hemisphere, where they're just now going into the spring. Anthony is a great dance music artist coming to us from Australia. We're going to start out by hearing his song Porn Star, and Anthony will be joining us right after this. And that was Porn Star by Anthony DeFina, and I'm joined today with Anthony on the line. How are you, Anthony?
Good, Tim. How are you, mate?
Good, good. Tell us about the song Porn Star.
As they say in Australia.
Tell us about the song Porn Star, and tell us about yourself. Who is Anthony DeFina?
Sure. Well, Porn Star is quite an interesting song. It's actually obviously on the album. It actually wrote it on the thought of girls that try to go to Hollywood to seek fame and fortune and end up dancing on tables and so on, and having people in mind like Anna Nicole Smith and Tracy Lords, who started off that way and tried to get into film. It was more or less a song about people with ambition and going to Hollywood to make it. So as you can see with the music video, a lot of pretty girls in there, a lot of ambitious girls in there. So yeah, quite a very ambitious, sexy song.
Now, you're from Australia, right?
I am from Australia. Originally, my parents are Italian, and then they actually moved to the United States. And my father grew up in Boston. My sister was born in Boston, and I actually spent a bit of time over there as well. And then we moved to Australia, and yeah.
So, what city are you in?
Recording. Yeah, I'm in Melbourne.
Oh, okay, in Melbourne.
Yeah. You been to Melbourne?
No, I have not been to Australia. I would love to go one of these days.
You have to come out here. It's a great country.
Yeah. Well, tell us about yourself. How did you get into the music business?
Well, I basically, from a very young age, I've always had this thing with writing songs and writing poems and so on, and it just something that was always in me. I got to the age of 15, 16 where I kept on writing songs and poems, and then got to 19 years of age and put down some demos and went overseas a couple of times. I recorded a couple of tracks, came back here, teamed up with a good producer here, and we got serious. And the first track we recorded was a track called It's All About Sex, which was a really fun and cheeky track, having in mind ex-lovers and stuff like that. I think I was going through a bit of a breakup at the time, so we wrote this song, and we got it publishing for it straight away, and it ended up on the Big Brother TV reality series across Australia and New Zealand, which was really good.
Oh, cool.
From there we started recording other tracks, Porn Star, Suspicious Minds, If You Want My Love, and put an EP together, and we had that released in Australia, and now finally we have the album, Sex versus Religion.
Cool. Now, how long did it take you to get that far?
Putting the album together took me a long time. Writing songs has been a span over 12 years. The actual album itself probably took 3 years. It's quite a diverse album. It starts off quite dancey. It's quite cheeky, and then it has a religious turn, goes deeper into a couple of ballads. There's another track called Jesus Loves Me. It's about self-respect and being who you are, and that's why the album's called Sex versus Religion.
Oh, okay. So that's the name of the album, Sex versus Religion?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, is it out in Australia yet?
It is out in Australia, where you can purchase it online through iTunes, or you can download songs individually, or you can go to my website and buy the album, and it gets sent out to you.
Okay, cool. So now it is available then in the U.S.?
Yep, online it is.
Okay,
yep,
cool.
To www.anthonydefina.com and through iTunes and rhapsody.com, and I think that's the one it's called. The album's completely digital.
Oh, okay, cool. Now, when did the album actually release?
Australia, 3 weeks ago, digitally released. Pre-sales have started now. This is all coinciding with the actual album launch, which kicks off on the 30th of October in Australia.
Oh, awesome.
In Melbourne. Yeah, it's quite exciting.
That's great. Well, I wish you all the luck with the launch party. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I like to make my shows quite interesting and a bit colourful, and because we have songs like Porn Star and It's All About Sex. I love dancing with pole dancers from good strip clubs across the country. So we have a couple of girls that come on and do their thing, and we mix that up with a few boys, and it turns out to be an interesting show.
Cool. I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
Yeah, it kind of like accommodates everybody's style.
Well, with titles like Porn Star and It's All About Sex, yeah.
Well, yeah, so, if you're straight, gay, lesbian, or whatever, I'm sure you'll enjoy the show.
It's a good mix of it all.
Absolutely. We've got to keep everybody happy.
Well, there you go. There you go. So now tell us about the video. You mentioned you've already done some video.
Yeah, we did the first video for Porn Star. We shot that in a limousine in Melbourne. It came out quite good, quite interesting. I actually more or less directed how I wanted the video and how I wanted it to look. So I just don't stop with music. I'm quite responsible for my artwork with my albums and self-promoting myself and directing videos. And I had a lot of fun co-directing the Porn Star video. It's getting quite a bit of interest overseas in the UK and a few European cities where we're trying to get the track licensed with the album. So, yeah, fingers crossed. That is officially, though, the first single off the album. We are also looking at doing the second video, either being It's All About Sex or If You Want My Love, pretty soon.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about how you got It's All About Sex on the Big Brother Australia.
Well, when we did the track, I had a gentleman that's quite big in the music scene with publishing and the ARIA Awards, which is probably similar to your MTV Grammy Awards there.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out to listen to what I was up to. He heard about this song, Anthony DeFino writing these songs about sex. It's all about sex and Porn Star. So he came in one day and had a sit-in and had a listen to what I was doing and found it quite interesting. And because he works for this big publishing company in Sydney, he took the track and he said, we will pitch it for TV and movies and stuff like that. And one day I was having my bourbon in front of the TV and I hear my song, and thinking that I left the stereo on, I was actually watching that Big Brother show, and actually my song was coming through the TV, so it was really surreal. And then I had a couple of phone calls from some friends saying, your song's on TV, and they played it for about six episodes, which was pretty good, and it was good. It was good for the song. Now I'm with a bigger publishing company that are affiliated with Paramount and Universal, so they try to pitch all my album songs for commercials and TV works in Europe and America and Australia. So
wow, that's pretty cool. That's really
we
awesome.
actually had interest with It's All About Sex for Budweiser ad in the US, but I don't know what happened there, but it was pretty close.
Well, cool. Now, let me ask you this. Did you ever have any type of musical training?
Not really. I played a bit of guitar when I was in school. I do slight little programming at home just to muck around with. I've done a lot of, as far as performing, I've done a lot of dancing schools when I was younger and singing coach lessons when I was younger, and up till 2 years ago I did 2 years straight of just some voice coaching for myself. So I think basically that's it, yeah.
Oh, very cool.
The rest comes from just thoughts in my head, and my strongest ability, I think, is my songwriting and the creativeness of putting a show together and how to market a particular song and what the song is actually about.
That's very cool. Well, I wish you all the best of luck with the new album.
Thank you, Tim.
And I think we'll go ahead and go a little deeper. You want to tell us about that track and tell us about writing that track?
Yeah, it's quite a good song, actually. It's very different to what I've done. This song was actually written by a talented producer in the UK called Paul James, and he's actually writing a few more tracks for me, and we've co-written a couple together. This track, Go a Little Deeper, has been on a few compilation albums over in the UK, and is proving popular in Australia with Dan